Really simple one today. You want to know how to use the compressor in FL Studio. So what we'll do is just grab this example track here. If you want to download this template, it is in the description below. And we'll just grab the drums like so by holding Option and clicking. There's our wonderful drum break. So on the mixer, we can see we've got Fruity Limiter. Now, Fruity Limiter is badly named because it's actually the Fruity Gate and the Fruity Compressor and the Fruity Limiter and the Fruity Saturator. So let's just disable this guy real quick. If we hit F8, it brings up our plugin selector and we can literally just type lim and it will give us Fruity Limiter like so. And let's drag that guy and drop it in that slot. And it is there now on our drums bus. Little corner bit just here, make it super big. So by default, it's on limiter, and we can see there's our signal, there's our line for the limiter, and there's our ceiling right there. Just down here, look, it says limit and comp. And if we click over the comp, all of our controls change, and we've now got it set up to be a compressor. So let's say we want to control this drum break. It's really dynamic. Look, we've got these huge transients, definitely some big hits here. Let's say we want to control these guys so they're sort of more in line with there, give us that little bit of headroom, squish the break together a little bit. How would we do that? It's really quite simple. First thing I would suggest we set is the ratio. Now the ratio goes both ways. If we push it to the right, that's going to be our compression ratios. If we pull it to the left, it's going to be expansion ratios for us, right? So push it a little bit that way. Let's have something like, I don't know, 3:1. Be around there for us, and then we start pulling down our threshold and we can see there it's giving us a representation of how that's going to compress. If we adjust our knee, we can see how that curve goes as well, and I think something like that is going to be tasty for what we're after. So when we bring that threshold down, we've got an indicator here, right, as to, you know, these are passing the threshold. Are they going to be passing the threshold enough to then be compressed? Well, we can see when we pull it back, it's catching the biggest peak just here, look. And we'll need to dial it back a fair bit more to be grabbing everything else. Right, and now we can see it's starting to catch those main parts that we wanted to bring down and give some control to. But it's also releasing so absurdly quick that it's effectively distorting. You can see these really quick release times happening. Now the release time seems like it's going to be fine. It's up at like 200 milliseconds. It's to do with the curvature here. So we can bump the curve up to say 2 or 3, and now we'll get our more traditional looking compression curve. Look, there we can see the amount being compressed, and we're putting everything down here by only sort of 1.5 decibels, and at the extreme part here, 5 dB. So overall, that's what we're compressing it by. Let's pull it back a little bit further, or we could pump our ratio up to say like 3/5. That'll pull it back a little bit more for us. Now what we can do, we can use our gain control just here to lift it back up, say that 2 dB range. And there you go, we can see there we're in about the right sort of range for what it's being compressed by. Bring the threshold back a little bit more, squeeze it in together like so. And that, guys, is how we would dial in some compression and use the compressor in FL Studio. If you want to learn more about FL Studio, linked below will be a playlist of hundreds more tutorials, as well as on the screen right now. You can click that and go through those. I will see you shortly in the next video. Take care.